I just want to apologize in advance. We've been talking about online learning. Technology has been very, very helpful, but just to give you a context, we've been having some problems in the Philippines in terms of internet connection. I live in Manila right now. I'm based in Manila, but we still encounter intermittent internet connection. I think because of the overload that is happening. I think everyone's at home and everyone's enjoying Netflix or something. Um, just to give a context to everyone, we the basic education in the Philippines, that's K to 12, follows the June to March calendar, which is very different from the higher ed, which follows the global calendar of, or mostly the August September calendar. Um, when COVID-19 affected the whole country or the main island, it we were on the last part of the school year, like March. We had to make sure that we decide on 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 what to do with the last assessments, the last lessons, and eventually some schools and even the Department of Education, I believe, reminded everyone that if it's not helpful anymore, and then we just dropped the last assessment because it's been really challenging. Overhand, I think the effect has been minimized. The effect has been minimized basically because of the school year calendar, as compared to other countries which were affected right in the middle of the school year. In the Philippines, we were at the end of the school year, and basically my reflection is revolving around the idea of what do we learn from this experience, so that when we start our our new school year, which is pending usually in June, this coming June, we're going to start our new school year. And I say pending because the government and the Department of Education are deliberating on whether to push with the June opening. But some private schools, independent schools, have been also planning to move the school year to July or August, around that area. But because the Department of Education was able to make some planning ahead, I think we were able to minimize the effect of students staying in school. I just want to give an example, like for example, the Department of Education Commons program or project um, where they invested on creating online learning materials that are accessible to everyone. So it's an open resource accessible to everyone. And it has been gaining a lot of tractions, a lot of users. And I really credit the EdTech team of the Department of Education. And that has been really helpful also to contain, to give a sense of normalcy to our students or to our young kids who are staying at home. I am currently working on in the grade school unit of my school, and just a few reflections that I want to share. Some of the things that we're looking towards right now is we have four major ideas to look into, or realities. Number one, like what Yasuda has mentioned, I think the importance of ensuring equitable access to our students. Um, the main default of a lot of school systems right now is going through online distance learning or online learning. But the situation has shown us the haves and the have-nots of a lot of our families. Even if they have access to an internet connected device, they have to share them with their fellow with their siblings, for example, and that has been really really a problem among our families. My context as a student in the primary or elementary grades have shown me that it's really important to guide the younger students. I've seen in the chat questions that a note that says the younger students have been marginalized in this pandemic, and I would really really agree with that. Not really marginalized, but teachers have been having a hard time thinking of how to continue learning for the younger students, especially when they are not really digitally equipped or equipped with digital skills needed for them to study online. Teachers have been caught also in rapid transition. So it's been really challenging for a lot of teachers teaching in the grade school to redesign their classroom experiences. And I would agree with Yasudai with what she said about the design of the lessons. It's been really, really hard to reimagine or redesign the lessons of younger students that really focus on using manipulatives, face-to-face encounter, and we know that early education really focuses or banks on face-to-face encounter. You know, the presence of a teacher builds trust in the student. So things like that, and of course, always a question of assessment.
Thank you, Jim.
It's been really hard. Yeah.
No, sorry, carry on. I thought you'd stopped.
The question of assessment also is very important, especially for younger students. We've been also thinking, personally, I've been also thinking, is it really ethical to grade younger students at this moment? I mean, that has been a big question. I'm not sure if that has been asked in the different by the different teachers here or school leaders here, but maybe this is the opportunity for us to rethink the importance of grades again. I mean, there's a lot of discussion about the importance of grades in the education system, but with this kind of situation, how are we going to redefine or reimagine or gain a new perspective on the importance of of grades? So I don't have much to share right now, just a lot of reflection, but three things that I want to maybe push as some reflection or something that we could think about, especially for our policymakers who are here. Number one, I think it's important that for younger students where I am currently anchored on, maybe it's more important to look at the safety or the social emotional dimension of teaching younger students right now. If adults can feel anxiety with this time of pandemic, I think the kids are also badly hit by these kinds of anxiety, especially when they are uprooted from the normalcy, the routines that have been established in school. So um, let's think about the social emotional dimension of what it means to educate students for now. I think that is more important for me. Second, trust the teacher. Trusting the teacher also means providing the teacher opportunity to get ready with this kind of transitions or protocols that are happening. I think trusting the teacher means giving a proper funding for training, allowing the teacher to have access to resources also, to become better teachers at this time of pandemic. One more thing, which is very, very important, I hope that this situation fosters a more dynamic homeschool partnership. We always say that parents or the home is our partner, but we see how parents have been complaining um, about the difficulty of doing homeschooling with their kids right now, and they appreciate the work of the teachers because of this. But also, I want to push further. Maybe there can be a more solid homeschool partnership, especially for younger students. In the end, teachers will not be there. I think we always need to remind ourselves that when remote learning or distance learning happens, teacher is not there. And the teaching presence that they have is through the adult supervision that they have at home. So one way or another, we need to make sure that we are fostering or developing a solid homeschool partnership. to ensure that the kids feel that they are still being supported, not just by the teachers anymore, but even by their parents. So that's it for now.
Thank you so much, Jim.